No, let me finish this now.
He came up, he said...
Your brother's involved in this. I've been on holiday for a week. This is vital. I came up with Carlos because he's Portuguese. It was his pal doing all the villas. Brought me to this villa. My daughter's here tonight and she'll back me up. She was 1 at the time, but she'll back me up. We walked around. My wife is a very placid woman, believe it or not, and we walked around this villa. Carlos was involved in it, and I remember going, there's glass tables, there was a plunge pool, it was like 3 bedrooms, and I'm going, this won't do with the family. This, obviously, we'd 5 kids at the time. I'm going, no. And I remember saying to Carlos, but we've just, and I rang the people who we just left the villa from, and we were paying that. And I went, is it available for another week? And ironically, what I found out later on, Scholesy wasn't staying on the resort. He was staying down with his family, no big deal. And I think Phil, and the manager eventually got upset at me, but what he was doing was organising lunches. And I guarantee you, me and my wife and my family were at every lunch and every meal where all the other players were off doing. So this idea that I was off-site and doing my own thing. And I remember the manager came, he came out 1 or 2 days late. That was it. And Carlos obviously was saying, I had a fallout with Roy and he's staying at this villa. And Ferguson pulled me in again in the dressing room and the players were effing and blind and going, I said, what is the bit? Like really, to me going, and I felt like saying, well, there's other players staying outside, but I didn't want to throw them under the bus with me. And I remember going, what? And really over the top stuff. And I remember we were training the next day, and typical Ferguson, we're all doing stretches, and he walks over, if you remember this, because the owner of the complex as well, or one of the owners was a Dutch guy. Fergus, do you remember? Yeah. So we're all sitting there doing stretches. We're all doing stretches. First came out, I'm looking for some senior players. Walk past me, obviously, forget that I'm the captain. I need some senior players, you know, Gary, Ryan, and whoever it was. You've got to go for the Chinese tonight, am I right? Was it a Chinese?
I think it may have been, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Chinese. And they were going for the Chinese. Yeah, without you, Roy, you know, like, you could stick your Chinese. So it was all that kind of, basically, all Ferguson's fault.
And
I like the Chinese as well, I thought.
I always remember saying, you know, all these things that were wrong with his villa, and then like this delay, and the pool's fucking freezing.
It was a plunge pool. It was freezing. Got 5 children. Christ.
The pool was cold.
Would you stay there?
You know,
you just told me you've been skiing 5 times in the last year. Where do you get the money for that?
I like it.
Jesus. It's loaded. So that was the start of it.
Yeah, no, sure. The clock's against us, and just literally one last question on it, really. You know when you're in the office and you've just watched the video and the stuff you're referencing, Roy talks about it in his book, what he said to Kiros, I won't repeat it here, you know, you're a bit of a go at Ferguson. Does any part of you, when you're in that zone where stuff's coming out, think, I am crossing the line here?
No, you gotta relax yourself here a second. Because same with Saipan, people say, oh, you know, could you handle it differently?
Yeah.
Could you stood back? What, let people walk all over you? The key is, when I watch this video, whatever about was said afterwards, listen, I'm sure you're going to later, same with Saipan, people making accusations against you, and you're sitting there going, what do you want to say? Going, no, yeah, that's fine, you're gonna fight, you have to fight your corner, you have to defend yourself. And again, the key for me is whatever the video on Gary said, it was intense. We had a load of heated discussions over the years, sometimes as a team, but you got to roll with that. That's grown men. We're fighting for the same things.